What's going on, everyone? It's Grillius here, and I'm here to talk about these brand new perks introduced in Season of the Chosen. Now, these perks, all of them I can see myself using, because they're all good. None of these are kind of just throwaway perks like Pulse Monitor, right? These are all perks I can imagine people using in both PvE and PvP, depending on the situation. And, yeah, these look pretty good. Let's get to it. Now, this first perk is known as Bottomless Grief. While you are the last living Fireteam member, each takedown refills your mag. The whole thing, I think. So if it is the whole thing, that's not bad. This is probably the only perk I wouldn't really use because I'm never really the last Fireteam member. I'm usually the first one to die. So, but if you're in like trials or something, I can imagine this being used. If you're in an endgame activity, I can imagine this being used. But if you're not one of the last living Fireteam members, this is a wasted perk. This is the one perk I'm kind of about. The rest look awesome. But this perk, I do not know if it's going to be good or not. But only time can tell. Next perk. Okay, the next perk is known as Flourish. Don't mind causality arrows, or whatever the fuck those are called. Those are for the exotic bow. So Flourish, defeating combatants with grenade abilities increases its weapon's damage. This sounds really good, depending on the statistics. If it's only like a 30% damage buff for defeating enemies with grenades, that's kind of whack because you use a whole grenade for that, right? But it also depends on how many grenade kills you need and how long the duration of the damage buff is. If it's only like 5 seconds, that's kind of ass. But if it's maybe 15 seconds, 10 to 15 seconds, I can imagine myself using this. But again, this is on no weapon right now, which is unusual. I don't know why it's in the database if it's unused, right? I mean, makes sense. There's a lot of stuff in the database they haven't even touched. Many catalysts that aren't in the game. Anarchy Catalyst, 1,000 Voices Catalyst. What are those? But yeah, Flourish, a perk that's on no other weapon. It looks very interesting, but I don't know if it's good or not because we don't have it. We don't have it in our hands. I have no idea. Next perk is called Frenzy. Being in combat for an extended time increases damage, handling, and reload speed for this weapon until you're out of combat. So this perk sounds really good, and it is very good. It takes roughly 12 seconds to proc the perk after you're damaged or you damage something. So if you shoot a Cabal or something, it'll take you 12 seconds. It doesn't matter how many times you shoot it. It's just right when you take damage or you shoot out damage and hit something. It'll start the timer, and once that 12 seconds is up, you will receive a 20% damage buff and a huge handling and reload speed buff. This is a lot for one perk to have. This is like all the perks you want combined into one, but with a really kind of long activation time. Yeah, it takes 12 seconds, but if you're in a big gunfight, this is a perfect perk. This perk is perfect to have wherever you're at, right? So this is a fantastic perk. This is kind of feels like you're going a little overboard with these perks, right? This seems like a perk that could be on like a pinnacle weapon for how good it is. But yes, it only does 20% increased damage, unlike a 33% rampage, 35% one for all, or a 50% multi-kill clip. So yes, it is it's a lot less than those, but it's a lot easier to proc, but it takes a little longer. And it takes 5 seconds of inactivity, of like no shooting or taking damage, for it to go away. So it's like the other ones. So this perk is actually very, very, very strong, and it's on almost all of the new seasonal weapons, like all the new season pass weapons and all the the gold shiny ones you get from the battlegrounds and the hammer. So these perks, this perk I should say, is fantastic. Great perk. Next, we got Impulse Amplifier. Massively increases projectile velocity and increases reload speed. I don't know how much the reload speed buff is. It's probably pretty good. I don't know. Not going to be as much as Field Prep at all, but this is probably going to max out your velocity stat. So you can have like a reload speed masterwork in one of these, and boom, there you go. So if you have this always lands on most rocket launchers in the first perk slot, and this perk is on the Heretic, Sleepless, and the Seasonal Rocket Launcher. So I really recommend this perk because it is just very good. Very good on rocket launchers. This is actually also on a bow. The new bow, this is on it. So I hope we see this on handheld grenade launchers and just grenade launchers in general, because I really like this perk, and I really want to see it on more weapons. Next, we got Iron Reach. Massively improves weapon range at the cost of weapon stability. This is another Iron Banner weapon, so it's gonna buff something and reduce something by double. So this perk increases range by 20 and reduces your stability by 40. You know, this is gonna be one of the Iron Banner perks that I might use, because range is very important in Crucible. And if I can get like a pulse with this on it, then yeah, my stability is gonna tank. It's gonna go down to none, right? But that range, man, you can snipe people with this. So yeah, I can see myself using this perk. It looks pretty powerful, and yeah, it looks pretty good. We're gonna have to get our hands on it first. Some people already have it because they held bounties from last season, Iron Banner bounties, and then claimed them this season and got the new weapon with this new perk. So I haven't really seen. I know it is very good, but I wonder how bad that stability knockdown is gonna be on console. So let's go to the next perk. Kickstart. Gain bonus damage and charge rate during a slide after sprinting for a short duration. This could only occur. This whole perk is only on the Trials Fusion right now, the Trials Fusion rifle. So that kind of sucks because fuck Trials. I don't like Trials, but this perk looks pretty good. Bonus weapon damage. If this is probably gonna be like maybe a 15% buff, it should not be any more than that. And the charge rate is probably gonna be like backup or is it backup plan or something? Whatever the hell that one's called. I think it was backup plan. So this has the potential to be OP as fuck, depending on how it increases it. Because we didn't get the Trials of Osiris Fusion Rifle this weekend. We got the Messenger, and we're gonna get to that perk near the end. But yeah, this looks pretty good. So I don't know how much the stats are, but I can imagine this is gonna be a nasty, nasty perk. Next, we have Lasting Impression. Rockets attach on impact and detonate after a delay. Increases blast radius and damage. So the blast radius increase, I do really notice that. It explodes like almost everything in the area. And that damage buff it adds is very, very good. It is a roughly 19% damage buff I've seen. Thank you, Error, or Error, wherever the fuck you say your channel name. Because he does all the calculations and I watch his videos. So he's a big brain. But when you shoot the rocket, it sticks onto the enemy. Like it looks like a Cheeto. You just stick it onto the enemy, right? And you have to wait roughly 3 seconds, and then it'll explode. It does a lot more damage, 19%, and overall it is a very, very, very good perk if you get on rocket launchers. This is a good DPS perk, combined with like if you shoot it, if it has an auto-loading holster and this perk, that is a wombo combo, like my boy Rick Hackett says. That is an insane combination, because you can shoot off the rocket, and then switch to another weapon and then shoot while the rocket explodes and deals a bunch more damage. So yeah, very good perk. And if you get it, keep it. Keep it, bro. This is a good perk. And that is the last of these new perks. But there is one more. We have Desperado is back into the game. And I believe if you get if you reload after you get a kill, you gain the Desperado buff of just like cranking up your rate of fire and it without reducing your damage. It's insane. This is on the Messenger's pulse rifle. I think it was in a high impact frame pulse rifle. So it kind of sucks how this is not on like any other unique archetype of pulse. It is just the same archetype as Redrix, but it's back and you don't need Outlaw. Outlaw is on the gun. And you can get Desperado Outlaw. That would not be that sounds like a pretty nutty combination. But yeah, this perk is back. And hopefully this brings out the ability for Bungie to bring back pinnacle perks. Not Micro Missile. I mean, I would like Micro Missile, but I know all the PvP guys are getting all pissed off, so no. But things like accelerated coils. Or no, it wasn't accelerated. It was just the perks from the Loaded Question. Bring that one back. You can bring back the Recluse's Master of Arms. Bring back those perks. The non-broken ones. that didn't ruin PvP. But I don't play PvP, so I don't really care. But if you can bring back some of those and like bring a twist to balance them a bit more. I mean, this one, Desperado just got straight up buffed, right? It does the same rate of fire buff, but don't need Outlaw. So that's pretty sick. I wish this wasn't on just the Trials of Osiris Pulse Rifle. I wish I can get this on like something else in PvE. But whatever, man. It looks pretty powerful, and I'm pretty hyped for them adding Pinnacle perks back. That's kind of interesting. But that is it for the video. I hope y'all like and subscribe or do whatever the hell you want. I don't give a fuck. But I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope this was informative. And I'll see y'all next time. Not really. See you later.